watching on the replay. It is a huge help to me and I really appreciate you watching. If you would please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate your time and you spending your minutes with me here. So this is going to be kind of an interesting true confession style stream, and I'll just get right into it. I'll give you kind of a layout of how this is going to run, and I will do my best to add in timestamps down below. So off the jump, you saw that the title was The Ugly Truth About My Debt. That is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I'll give you kind of maybe a 2-minute update on what's going on right now in my life and what's happening, and then I will tell you the situation. I'll tell you what happened, and what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. Hey Adam, how are you doing? Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Hello Matt, Matt's Gambling Slots. Good to see you guys here. And then after that, I'll kind of go into my feelings on what's happened and what I'm planning to do about it. So I just kind of an update. I'm back. We're back in Delaware. Hey, Matt. Yes. So that's sort of the layout for today's stream. Let me kind of see if I can scoot back for a bit of an angle. So we are back in Delaware. We celebrated Father's Day with my husband's family. It was really cool because his brother's kids all got together. They kind of surprised him for Father's Day, so it was neat. So we are back in Delaware today. Probably heading back up to Manhattan in about midweek, because I have a doctor's appointment that I need to be back for. So that's kind of the setup now. I'm coming to you from Delaware. And so that's kind of what's going on right now. So what's going on with my debt and my debt update? As kind of you may have seen, I posted a quick video in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, which is where we went for kind of it was a family vacation. It was hasty because my sister's husband is going back to work. He'd been out on disability for a while and he's going back to work this week. So this was, last week was the last week we could all do it together. So it was great. It was an awesome time to spend with family. It was really, really fun. But as you may have seen from that video, I'll try to link it. I'll actually keep notes on everything I'm going to link. I will link that video down below. There, we had planned to stay in an Airbnb, which would have cost approximately $1,900 for 6 of us to stay in that Airbnb and be able to cook, like buy groceries and cook. We were not able to do that because the Airbnb, long story short, it was fine when my sister and her family checked in at like 6 o'clock. Once the sun set, giant water bugs came out in the kitchen and the bathroom, and they were aggressive, they were fast moving, and there were a lot of them. So it was like we'd already decided to go at that point, but we pulled back. I was looking in the bathroom and I pulled back the shower curtain and a bug just like jumped out. It was terrifying. Anyway, so we couldn't stay in that Airbnb. We were gonna just split the cost, whatever. So we ended up having to check into a hotel at like 2 in the morning in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. It was Swansboro, North Carolina. It was Hampton Inn Suites, which is the Hilton property. And we actually got a really good rate for pretty much beachfront for like 5 minutes to the beach. We got a seniors rate, an AARP rate, because my mom is a senior, of $169. They never asked for documentation, but the rate was $169 a night. And because my mom came with my husband and I, we got a room for her and then a room for us. So that's 2 rooms times 5 nights times $169 plus all these added taxes. So for the 5 nights that week, it ended up being $920 times 2. So thank you, Michael. My journey is worth sharing. I appreciate it. The only reason I share my journey is so that other people, hello, Couponing with Grace, so glad to see you here. The only reason I share my journey is A, so that other people don't feel alone, and B, so if there's something you can learn from my journey to help you in your journey, that your journey might be a little bit easier. That's the only reason I'm sharing this. And third, to keep myself accountable to moving forward. So that's $1,800 right there. And what did I do? I put it on a credit card. So again, the charges just hit. I just looked at them. Hey, Anthony, frame of mind. So good to see you. I check my bank account every morning, which is my routine. That is just something that I do. Numbers are numbers. Hello, Shlomo from Israel, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, good evening to you around the world. Money is money, and that is it. Money is nothing to be afraid of. Even though this big sort of unexpected thing just happened, I am not going to let that derail me. So that's $1,800 in unexpected expenses. And so here's the thing, 100% worth it. Was it pretty much nuclear on my finances right now? Yeah. Because I don't have the money to pay that off, in addition to the balance that was already there. So I am actually going to go back and break down the balance that is already there, because I'm kind of wondering what the rest of that came from. I'm sure it was something that I did, because, but just where the rest of that balance came from. So right now I'm carrying a $3,800 balance on one card, and I'm carrying a $2,500 balance on another card. So huge, huge, huge blows. And it's frustrating because I had, if you guys have watched, throughout the month of April was a no credit card month. May, I'd intended to do the same, and then here we roll into June, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of a hit, because we weren't planning on doing it, and I feel like it was awesome to see my sister. I didn't get to enjoy it because I was, as much as I would have liked, because I was working. On the other hand, it's like, it was also kind of nice to have a, I won't say a respite, but just something to kind of break away from at the end of the day. Like we weren't on top of each other. We all had space, but it was also kind of tough to corral one another and to connect. Anyway, 100% worth it to spend time with family right now. So that is what has happened, and that's kind of, those are the true numbers of my consumer debt that I'm carrying right now. I went, how long was it since I got rid of my debt? I got rid of my debt in 2010, and it's now 2022, so it's 12 years. I went 12 years with no consumer debt, and this year has been a little bit nuclear and upending everything I had been working on financially. Here's the thing though, I had a lot of life events happen. So that's the deal with my debt. I had several big life events happen. Got married, and I'm expecting. So I'm expecting a baby in September to come from me, which I know will bring other expenses as well. So would I take that in exchange for this financial kind of upheaval? Sure. Was it all worth it? Absolutely. Here are the other factors at work. So I try to separate controllable versus non-controllable. What can I control and what can I not control? I cannot control the fact that our Airbnb had bugs. Are there other ways we could have handled it? Sure. Was this the least stressful and most direct and most beneficial for everyone involved? Yes. So that I'm putting in the non-controllable section. So that the whole, the $1,800, $1,900 in new debt is a non-controllable. That was just something that I want to be careful, because I also want to fully own all of my actions. Yes, I could have made different choices. My mother could have stayed with us, and then it would only have been $920 times 1. Sure, that's a way we could have gone. We would have been miserable. So all in for everyone's happiness and mental state, that was 100% the way to go. So that $1,900 of debt is just done. I can control what I spend going forward and what I do to counteract that, and my mindset. So those are the 3 things that I can control. Hey, Stephen, so good to see you here. Really, really important to separate controllable from non-controllable when it comes to reducing debt. Because here's the thing, yes, these life changes kind of hit very quickly. Again, 12 years and nothing changes. All of a sudden, 1 year, everything changes. And that's A, how I've seen it happen for other people, and B, I kind of knew that it would come, that all of these changes in my life that I've been working toward would come quickly. And these are changes, again, that I am so excited for. I'm so happy about, it requires a new way. They require a new way of thinking if I'm going to address these changes and these updates in a positive manner going forward. Because I see how so easily this just becomes a cycle going forward. Hey, Gem Theory, good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Happy you're here. This becomes a cycle going forward. You just feel I have heard from other people saying, oh, something always comes up and you just get stuck in this cycle. The average American household has, and this was as of like 15 has $7,000 in credit card debt. And I'm like, wow, I went for 12 years with $0 and all of a sudden I'm right there at that average American household. And I'm like, that is not something I am satisfied with. So moving forward, this is sort of the process, is how am I going to address this? And what am I going to do? So a couple different things are at work here. And it would be easy to say all I need to do is earn more money, which I do need to increase my income. Sure, yes, I do. Because there's only so much that I can cut. And I feel like for the most part, I am living pretty close to the bottom of my budget. Could I cut more? Sure. If I were to cut down to the bare budget, to the bare minimum, I think I could cut an additional $300 a month, which is $300, but it's also, for me, it wouldn't be worth that type of sacrifice and difference in my well-being. For example, I just joined a Jewish community center with a pool because swimming is one of the things that just makes me feel so much better. So, and that costs $100 a month. Could I cut that out? Absolutely. I also have another workout program that's online that I subscribe to. My mother and I share a subscription that's $90. Could I cut that out? Absolutely. Those two things together make such a difference in my well-being. It wouldn't be worth it to me. I could cut them out, but it just would not be worth it. I think overall, I mean, the swimming just for me emotionally and physically is just, I can't put a price tag on it. Andy DeVirgo, 12K in debt. You had 14K in student loans. Why not pay it off with money saved and build up your savings again? Yes, so that is something I've also been thinking about, for sure. Which I did for the first chunk that came from the wedding. My concern with that is it's not really addressing, I don't want to say the root of the problem, but the adjustment to this new phase in my life, because that is what I am doing right now. I'm adjusting to this new phase in my life moving forward, because all of this debt, I believe, came from a change in situation and circumstances. Purely, it started with the wedding, and the wedding was sort of the start of a new life, and it was a terrible way to start. That's what you did to pay off your remaining debt. Yes, it is a little bit more complicated, my situation, Andy, but not much. I mean, it's the basics. You have your money coming in and your money going out. Your money going out has to be less than your money coming in. For example, I have in my planner, I use the Sprouted planner. Give them a shout out every time because I absolutely love their stuff. So this is a quote from Charles Dickens. Annual income, 20 pounds. Annual expenses, 19 pounds. Result, happiness. Annual income, 20 pounds. Annual expenses, 2006. Result, misery. It's true. We're like £1.06 can, and these in the UK, can make such a big difference. So for me, what this is, number one, is starting with the income that I already have and really focusing in and isolating that. I know my second, again, it's the three biggest expenses for me. Housing, utilities. I pay more in utilities for the house in Jersey than a lot of people pay in rent. It's insane. I pay close to $800 and then an additional $200, so close to $1,000 per month just in utilities and lawn care upkeep. Oh, thank you, Andy. Really appreciate that. Andy's saying best wishes. And if you have to run, you have to run. Watch it on the watch it on the live stream, please. If you're catching this on the live stream, I say thank you. And a big shout out. Marielle, I know you watch this in the mornings. Marielle, if you're watching, shout out to you again too. So starting with number one, what am I spending? No, what's coming in? Number one. Number two, what am I spending? What can I cut? And number three, how do I get more income coming in? Because again, this is coming from my change in circumstance. And now is the perfect time to take a deep breath and to say, what am I going to do different in this new and different circumstance? So that's where we are as far as where I am as far as going forward. I have a budget. Sylvia A. Oh yeah, speaking for yourself, once you start using credit cards, it's easy to rationalize spending more money until you quit cold turkey. Yes, it's very true. And that was sort of my plan in April. I'm kind of looking back. No, it was May when I started. I'm looking at my goals and the things that I'd set up. Couponing with Grace. When your mom sells her place, your expenses should change, and that will save you a lot. Yes. yes, it will. It will save everyone a lot. She is taking her time, and I don't blame her, because again, it's very, very difficult to get somewhere that's at that level or higher for less than she's paying. She would not be able to get a place at that level for less. She is working on it actively. Like, I was just there last week, and she's doing a lot of decluttering, which is just so powerful. And I'm like, one step at a time, Mom. Like, she does not have to move fast. She can take her sweet time. But yes, once that changes, things will change for everyone. So that is, again, where I am. So in May, I had attempted an all cash month, and I will tell you exactly what it did that threw my all cash month. And this is something that I aim to keep kind of like close to the vest, but this is something that I would like to address and change. So being that I am pregnant, I have a new appreciation for my mom, and I have a new appreciation for everything she's done. And I guess I'm really, really thankful, because we have had a very, we just have a really good relationship as adults. I think we were not always that way. It was, my teenage years were awful, because I just felt like she never trusted me, and I never gave her a reason not to trust me. And I was like, why are you so distrustful of me? So growing up, it was really difficult. But I also feel like we had a moment in 2014 where we like sat down and we're like, she full on said, like, she made a lot of mistakes, and I was like, that's okay. Like, that's all right. And we kind of came to that, yeah, that's okay, I love you, realization as adults. Like, this is where we are. And I think now, getting ready to become a mom myself, I'm like, oh, I have all these I have a greater appreciation for her. So as a result, I want to take care of her, and I want to see that she has what she needs, or that she has as comfortable and as supported a life as I can possibly do. So on the 28th of May, I took her, we had a spa day, and I just pampered her. And that was what threw my all cash month for May. Did I need to do that? No. Could I have done that in other ways that didn't require going into debt? Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. Number 3, and adjusting my mindset. That is the biggest thing. So that's the biggest thing that I will change going forward, is my mindset and what it really means to care for someone. Because caring for someone doesn't have to be through money. Sometimes money is not the best way to care for someone. It's certainly doesn't hurt, but sometimes it's not the best way. And I think mindset is so key, because that's the first line of defense I have, is my mind, is my thoughts, is my thinking, is my habits and my thought patterns, which I take for granted. I just think, oh, I have to make more money. And I'm almost grateful that I'm not, until my mindset is right. So the first thing I need to, well, one of the many things I need to unlearn is there are other ways to care for people that don't involve money. So that is something that I am working through now. Oh yes, so Gym Theory, crypto and stocks wiped your portfolio. You're also dead broke now. Okay, so that's something else that I kind of wanted to bring up, because Gym Theory, you are not alone, and I know I'm not alone in the whole credit card thing and people getting sort of wiped out as far as their assets go. Someone very close to me has recently had to cash out a bunch of things just to pay the bills, and it's frustrating and it sucks. And this is kind of the reality of where we are right now, is we've had to make some tough financial decisions that we would have preferred not to have to make, or financial moves that were not the best. Sometimes you just can't see around corners, and it's tough because you can't see what's coming up. And the best, really the only thing you can do, is keep going straight ahead and adjust as you can and try to prepare for the next time. And that's sort of the biggest thing for me, is I feel like, oh, like I've been in a similar position to this before. Like I've been in debt before, just from not, I don't say from not paying attention. It's exactly what it was from. At crypto and stocks, especially tech, really did get hurt a lot. On top of it, we're paying even more due to inflation. Double hit there. Yes, that is, I have tried to avoid speaking of inflation because it's hitting everybody. Yeah, the fact that I spent $500 on gas to drive down there. Hey, Kate, hello. So happy to see you. Kate Caden, making your life, living frugal, awesome stuff happening over on Kate Caden's channel. She's kind of a superstar, kind of a big deal. Really happy to have you dropping in here. Oh my goodness, Kate, you are just moving and shaking. I want to be like you when I grow up one day. You're just amazing. So we're talking about me going back into debt and what I'm going to do to get out of it. I wish we were talking about something. Oh, okay, yay, you're awesome. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I get not overwhelmed, but like, Kate, I'm like, you're just doing so many amazing things. I don't even know where to start with you, but you're such an inspiration. So cool. So really happy you dropped by. So as far as getting back out of debt, when I was in debt in 2004, 5, 6, the reason was, A, I had left my job and did not have a plan. And that's just the way it was. I wouldn't have changed that. But B, I didn't adjust my expenses, and I didn't really hustle as hard as I could have to make additional income. Oh yeah. So, Kate, I have debt from the wedding. I have debt from a recent family vacation. That's $1,900 in hotel fees that we were not expecting because the Airbnb that we rented had bugs. And then, so gas, and then I spoiled my mom. And that was my own fault. Would I do it again? I don't know. Maybe bugs. No. Yeah, it was awful. It was really bad. So we went for a family vacation, and that's what happened. Yeah. And plus it was like $500 in gas. We drove down to North Carolina. It was a good time. It was great to all be together, which is really exciting. So when that happened, when I was in debt in 2007, again, it happened just from not paying attention. In this situation, it's very clearly life changes. So debt from the wedding, and then debt from this family stuff. So this is very clearly a change in circumstance, which is going to, I hope, continue. I hope it's my very fervent desire to remain a married person, and I'm so much happier now than I was prior to that. And then having a new, and that's not even including baby debt coming on. I have my HSA that I'm really hoping for the birth. Which I'm hoping will cover that there are no complications. That's my deepest hope. And then my intention is not to spend a whole lot on baby things. This is one quote I agree with it. Wait, what? Yeah. Wait, what? Which? Yeah. I know, Kate. I haven't really posted anything publicly. It's just a live stream crew that's getting the inside scoop. Yes, in September. I know. No, I haven't said anything. That's why. Like, only the live stream crew, only like the inner live stream crew knows the full deal. So I have not posted one thing. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Really excited. But again, that's a change in circumstance. Thank you. Thank you. And we're really, really, really blessed and fortunate that so far, I mean, I'm 39, I'm going to be 40, that there are no complications, so far everything looks good. So that's a blessing, and I am so thankful. I wake up every morning and I'm so thankful for that. So, I mean, that's one thing I agree with Dave Ramsey on. He's like, oh, babies are like puppies. Like, you really don't have to spend that much. And I'm like, absolutely. The one thing that I want, so I've been watching a lot of Kelly, Freedom in a Budget's videos. You guys are awesome, Daryl. Daryl, hello. Yes, you're amazing. So you guys know the real inside scoop, what's really going on. So that is coming up. The one thing I really want to splurge on is, yay! Thank you, Matt. You appreciate my honesty with the debt situation. Sometimes it's worth it, especially when it comes to family. Yes, there are other ways to show love, though, and that's something that I need to remind myself, going back to the earlier comment about quitting cold turkey. That is something which I have not done a full month yet, to use a full month without resorting to credit cards, and that's something I want to change. So backing up, the one thing I want to really splurge on is a bassinet, the Snoo bassinet. Thank you, Kate. I feel like it's ebbs and flows, right? It's like a wave. Like, everything comes at you all at once, and then you stop and you like gather yourself. Sometimes you're able to duck underneath the wave and not get hit in the face, and sometimes you're just not paying attention, you get smacked full on. And I feel like there were a couple really big waves, and I just kind of am trying to catch my breath, and I know there's going to be another big wave coming up, right? So I like that analogy too. I feel like it's going to take some time, but I will adjust. And this is the time, to train my mind and my mindset to get me to a better place. Oh my goodness, yes, it's true. So for the past 12 years, I want to emphasize that as well. For the past 12 years, I've been living a debt-free life. So I will get back to that place of equilibrium where I carry no debt. And this is, I mean, again, this is like less than, it was February. So I don't know, if I give myself till next February to get out of it, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And there are other expenses coming up because we may need to move somewhere. We're planning probably to move somewhere with a little bit more space. It is what it is. We will see how that goes. Again, the number one strength that I have, the biggest tool that I have is my mind, and using my mind to think and act myself into a better place. And that is fully my plan. All right, guys. So live stream crew, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Kate, it was awesome to see you. Daryl, it was really good to see you too. I know you're in a similar position, and I know that there are some of you out there as well that are in similar positions of kind of having a life update or just deciding that this is not how you want to continue to live. So this is where we kind of all band together. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm excited to join the club. Can't wait. I'm very, very happy. Yeah, so we're all in this together. We're all in this situation. If you're watching this channel, it's because you want a better financial future and you're working for a better, it's the best. I'm hoping it's a fun club to be in, Kate. Because we want a better financial, we're waiting to share that piece of information. So no. We all want a better financial future, right? For the people we love, for ourselves, for our parents, for our kids, for our families, for our spouses, for our loved ones. We're working toward a better situation. So that's what we're here to do, and it's a daily climb. It's a daily joy. It's a daily privilege that we're on every day. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna sign off here. Thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, I will try to include timestamps down below so you can kind of figure out. I feel like I shared a lot of information in this, so kind of be helpful to be able to negotiate. But thanks again, everyone. You are so welcome, Matt. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being on the stream. It's awesome to connect with you, and I hope to see you again soon.